the dead of night, beneath a moonless sky, Emily found herself alone in her old, creaking house. The shadows danced ominously on the walls, and the wind whispered eerie secrets through the cracked windows. It was a night she'd never forget, a night when the ghosts of her past would come to haunt her. Emily had always been uneasy about staying alone in this ancient house, but tonight was different. She felt an unshakable presence, a malevolent force lurking in every corner. As she tried to shake off her fear, the electricity flickered and plunged the house into darkness. Emily clutched her phone tightly, the only source of light and comfort she had left. She moved cautiously through the dimly lit hallway, her footsteps echoing like a heartbeat. Every sound, every gust of wind seemed amplified. Her steps led her to the room at the end of the hall, the room she had avoided for years, the attic. She had heard stories about the attic, tales of strange occurrences and apparitions, but she dismissed them as mere superstition. With trembling hands, Emily pulled down the attic ladder and began to climb. As she ascended into the abyss, the air grew colder and her breath misted in front of her. She reached the top, her heart pounding in her chest, and switched on her phone's flashlight. The attic was a haunting sight. Dusty old furniture was draped in white sheets, like ghostly figures waiting to reveal themselves. Cobwebs hung from the rafters like forgotten memories. And there, in the corner, she saw it, an old, withered mirror. The mirror seemed out of place, its ornate frame contrasting sharply with the decrepit surroundings. Emily approached it cautiously, her reflection appearing distorted and sinister. She blinked, and the reflection changed. It was no longer her face staring back at her. It was the face of a girl she had never seen before. Panic surged through Emily as she stumbled backward. She tried to flee the attic, but the ladder seemed to have vanished, leaving her trapped in the eerie room. The girl in the mirror reached out, her cold fingers brushing against the glass, sending shivers down Emily's spine. "Who are you?" Emily whispered, her voice quivering. The girl in the mirror smiled, a chilling, malevolent grin. "I am the one who has waited for you," she hissed, her voice echoing in the attic. Terrified, Emily fumbled for her phone and dialed 911, but there was no signal. She was trapped in a nightmare, alone with this vengeful spirit. As the night wore on, the attic seemed to come alive. Whispering voices filled the air, and ghostly figures began to emerge from the shadows. Emily's fear reached its peak as the room closed in around her. Then, suddenly, a burst of light flooded the attic. Emily shielded her eyes and looked up to see her parents standing at the attic entrance. They had returned early from their trip. The apparitions and the malevolent presence vanished instantly, as if they were never there. Emily was shaken, unable to comprehend what had just occurred. Her parents embraced her, unaware of the horror she had faced. As the first rays of dawn broke through the windows, Emily knew that she had survived a night of true terror. She would never forget the haunting ordeal in her old creaking house and the ghosts that had come to life in the horror-filled night.